Hi everyone, this is Niharika from Your Legal Career Coach. We are a mentorship platform for law students, and on our YouTube channel, you'll find interviews with students and industry professionals to make your journey easier. Today, we have with us Ashutosh Chandra. Ashutosh is currently pursuing his Masters of Laws degree from Seattle University School of Law. While studying at Jindal Global University, he spent the fall semester of 2023 in Seattle as an exchange student and returned a year later to pursue his master's degree. Before we begin talking to Ashutosh, I'll quickly tell you about us. Your Legal Career Coach was founded by Samanika Rawat, an NUGS alumna and Indian Army JAG branch recommended candidate, to make legal education and career guidance easy and more accessible to all. We offer live and pre recorded courses for entrepreneurs, lawyers, and law students, focusing on practical skills and career growth. What makes us unique is that we are the only legal edtech platform offering personalized one on one interview training with detailed feedback. With over 1,500 success stories, our mentees have secured placements and internships in top organizations, and we are here to help you build the legal career that you've always dreamt of. This is all about us. Now, let us hear from Ashutosh about his experience pursuing his master's from Seattle University School of Law. Hello, Ashutosh. It's a great pleasure to have you on board. Can you please introduce yourself to
Hi,
everyone?
Niharika.
Hello.
For sure. So, as Niharika said, my name is Ashutosh Chandra. I'm originally from Ranchi. So, I did 5 years of my law school in Jindal Global Law School. After that, I went to Seattle University. Speaking about my interest in law, I'm mostly interested in technology law and corporate law, and I'm really happy to speak to you guys today.
Right. So, delving into this, you immediately decided to pursue your master's. So, what was the rationale behind taking that decision? And did you not think of getting some work experience before applying for your master's?
So when I was in my third year, I think I wanted to pursue my master's after getting some experience. But then in my fourth year, I went for a semester exchange to Seattle University. I really liked the experience there, and it was akin to a master's program in itself. And what they did was they basically transferred my credits from my semester exchange to my master's program. So I thought I would be done with master's in a shorter amount of period. That's why I wanted to go there. And secondly, my brother was already staying in in Seattle at that particular point. So it was also a monetary decision for me as to how much money I would want to spend in masters. Since my brother was already living there, I thought I would cut on the accommodation expenses, and that really helped me.
Can you also tell us about your experience as an exchange student, like you said, at your Seattle?
Okay, so I went in my fourth year. So I went to the semester exchange because Jindal Global Law School and Seattle University had a tie-up between them. I also think that a tie-up is not restricted to Jindal Global Law School. There is Alliance University, and maybe they're tying up with other universities within India for a semester exchange program. So semester exchange program for them was very similar to an LLM, but in LLM you have like more focused subject towards a particular degree. In semester exchange, you could probably go ahead and take whatever subjects interested you. And people were like very forthcoming. People were really happy to have you there. In Seattle, you always felt like home because of the people there. Acceptance is a big part of it. So that's my experience in brief.
Right. What were the key factors that led you to choose Seattle University for your LLM, and did you also receive any other offers?
So I did not apply anywhere else. I only applied to Seattle University. So as I said, like monetary decision was a big part of it because my brother was already living there. The other factor, which is equally important, I think, were the faculty of Seattle University. So Seattle is a very large tech space, and within Seattle University, you have these faculties who are practicing in Microsoft, who are practicing in Amazon and similar companies. So they have like a lot of tech experience. And I thought during my master's, I wanted to interact with such people who have come from that sort of background. That's why I made that decision.
Can you please share the application process at Seattle University for students, and also how should one prepare for the same? How much in advance, rather?
Sure. So the application process I think, is very straightforward. There are only two things I think you should probably be aware of. One is a letter of recommendation. If you're planning on going for masters, just have close ties with your faculty, and tell them in advance that, hey, you're probably going for a master's at some point. So, like, when the time comes, it just streamlines the whole process. The other thing which is really important for your masters is a statement of purpose for that particular university. So, and that was the part I think I found a little bit challenging. Hey, what should be on my statement of purpose? So I think I wrote about the university, why I wanted to be there, why I wanted to pursue that particular program, and I thought, maybe honesty could be the best policy here. So I was just very forthcoming about my journey so far, and like whatever had brought me so far. So I just really wrote all of that there. But those are the two things I think you should ideally consider when applying for masters.
Regarding the exchange student part, did your tenure of LLM actually reduce because of that?
Yeah, so it was 6 months in exchange, and then it was 6 months. It was supposed to be 6 months. My master's was supposed to be 6 months, but what happened was later on I realized, okay, I also wanted to write the US part, so there was an additional subject that I had to take this semester, but it's mostly online.
Right.
So I came back to India. I could then pursue that particular subject, and
Right.
now I'm hoping to be a bar in a month or so.
Right. What specializations does the Seattle University offer?
So, Seattle University has two programs. There is the American Legal Studies program, which is for 24 credits, I think. And there is the Legal Technology program, which is for 28 credits. I think both of these programs can make you eligible for the Washington bar. But the tech program has more credits, so you have to take more subjects to do it. That is, I think that is the main differentiator here. Even in American legal studies, you can probably take some tech subjects, but I don't think it would be as holistic of a learning as in the tech program.
Right. So there's no concept of a general LLM.
No, these are the two subjects that are, at least when I was there, these are the two routes that you could pursue for completing your LLM.
Right. Clinical experiences or practical legal training did you undertake during your LLM, and how is it contributing to your professional growth right now?
Okay, so I personally did not have much of practical training. There are some clinic courses I knew my peers were taking and peers were going to take at some point, but I felt like an LLM is already very hectic as it is. I really wanted to like streamline my workload and be sure of what I wanted to do. So I had limited credits, and unfortunately, a practical experience could not fit into that. However, Seattle University again does offer that to you, and I know some people have really liked it. However, also, I talked to a lot of people who had practical experience in this field, if that counts, but I don't think it would.
Right. What is the typical class size for LLM students, and how does that impact the classroom experience and student-faculty interactions?
Okay, so I think there are three buckets you could divide the class size under. So there are some courses which you take with the JD students. The courses that you take JD students are gonna be either for 60 persons in a particular class or 30 persons in a particular class. So if you're taking something which is mandatory for all JD students, it's mostly gonna be like 60 persons per class. So anything like civil procedure or constitutional law, which is a mandatory course for JD students, would have 60 students. Then there are elective courses. Elective courses are courses which are not mandatory for JD students, but they want to be there. That's why they took those courses. The typical class size, including the LM student, is about 30 persons. And then there are courses which are just reserved for the LLM students. So there might be a particular constitutional law class because we have a shorter learning period for that particular course. So that might be about 10 to 15 students per class, but not more than that. Or American legal studies for that matter, because people don't usually have experience in law in US law before coming to the US. So for courses such as that, it's about 10 to 15 students.
Right. So again, a question: why did you opt for an LLM instead of a JD?
So JD takes a lot more time. JD takes 3 years, and there is a streamlined course of 2 years um, for students who have studied it before. But normally, so it was almost like between 2 to 3 years. Since I had already done 5 years of law school, I didn't think that I had it within me at that point to pursue another 2 degrees, another 2 years or 3 years of law school. I thought it would be very hectic. Then there was also the monetary part of it. A JD, because it's so long and including with the accommodation and the food and all, it would be really expensive. So I did not want to go forward with that.
Right. So, as an international student at Seattle University, what resources and support systems did you find most valuable in transitioning to studying in the US?
Okay, so Seattle University has a orientation week. I think most universities do, but the way they conduct is the first day is limited to international students, and then the JD students join in for that particular batch. So I think that was really helpful in transitioning. Then there is the International Student Center, which is located with the campus premises itself. So they provide you constant support and guidance that you require during the whole semester, right? Because it's not as easy for everyone uh, to shift to shift from their hometown in India, come to the US, being far away from all that you have known, all that you have loved all your life, coming to study here. So their support and mentorship, it really helps throughout the semester. They constantly make sure to organize like workshops, meetings within the students. They constantly check up on you. You have mental health services if you need. All of that was really helpful. But the most important thing, and I think this is unique to the place where Seattle University was located, was the notion of acceptance. I think that's a big theme there. People are really eager to accept you. You very quickly become a part of the community. You just have to go forward and talk to people, and you would notice how nice people are. That I think really helped transition very quickly.
Scholarships and financial aid are also very crucial for students. So, can you discuss about any scholarship or any financial aid opportunities that students can benefit from during this LLM?
For sure. So I think there are like three ways to get financial services. So and scholarships. So first is through the university itself. Seattle University, and I am guessing other universities as well, they offer a merit scholarship. So you could ask the university to provide you with some scholarship, and they probably will. You just have to show them why you need that scholarship and why you deserve that scholarship. Second, you explore partnered institutions from the university. So for Seattle University, I think there is the Round Class Center, which provides one student yearly scholarship, which is like which waives 100% of your tuition fee off. And I'm hoping that other universities have such partnerships as well, and I think that's really beneficial. The third way to get financial aid is so we used to get these emails during the semester about organizations that offer scholarships. So something like the Washington State Association Bar, they would provide scholarship for leadership skills that you may have displayed in your community. So I think that was beneficial, and there are so basically there are multiple ways to get scholarship. You just have like open about it and reach out to people for that.
Right. Any other concerns that students ought to think through before deciding on studying in the US?
So think uh, I think it has you have to be clear of why you want to do an LM. If you want to do an LM because you want to take a break from if you want to take a break from your corporate or your litigation life and learn something for a year, something else that okay might not help you in the professional life or might help you, but you want to do something else, that's great. If you want to do an LM for securing a job, then I feel like you should be more careful about it because employers in the US, they tend not to hire LLMs. I mean, they do hire LLMs, but they tend to favor like JD students more than that. And being an international student, it's a very difficult to find a job placement as itself, because you have to remember the fact that engineering students go for a master's program, they have a OPT period of 3 years. On the other hand, LM students only have an OPT period of 1 year. So you practically have only one chance of securing an H-1B even after you have sort of grabbed a job in your OPT period. And getting an H-1B is getting harder day by day because there are so many people applying for it, and it's purely a lottery system. So no matter how good you are, there is a chance that you won't get an H-1B students purely due to a backlog.
Right. Again, what plans do you have for yourself post LLM?
Sure. So I am joining a corporate firm within, I think it's next week itself. So today is Saturday. I'm joining it on Tuesday. So that's like a new beginning for me too. It's a corporate firm located in Mumbai. I was always interested in corporate law and technology law. So I feel th this aligns with what I had planned before. But let's see how the experience is.
That's great. Lastly, based on your journey and experiences, what advice would you like to offer to current aspirants?
Uh, I think my only advice would be something that I had already mentioned. Be clear on why you want to do an LLM. Uh, just be careful of that. Other than that, I think people these days are really smart enough to figure out for themselves.
Right. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience. I believe we have covered all we needed to know about applying to Seattle University for Masters, and this will be of utmost help to everybody watching it. Thanks again for being a part of this segment. On behalf of YLCC, I wish you the very best for your journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Niharika.